Rainbow Six Siege has a great roster of unstoppable characters from the fearless Ash to the unnervable Jaeger, but for every good character there are many forgotten ones. Welcome everyone to the first episode of Forgotten Operators. Today we'll be talking about Warden, the operator that could see through smoke that never caught on with the public. Warden is a defender from the US Secret Service, introduced along with the attacker Knock, another forgotten operator in Operation Phantom Sight back in February 2019. The goal was to combat the threat of the Rush Plant meta with Ying, Blitz, Lion and Glass. The meta was one of the most powerful attacking metas ever in Rainbow Six Siege, and quickly made defending certain objectives very difficult. The problem is, Warden was brought in after these operators all seen a big nerf to reduce their competitiveness. Before we jump into how to use Warden, let's compare Warden to when he was first released last year to what he is today. When he was introduced, he was a 3 armored 1 speed operator. While that's not necessarily a bad thing, most players prefer speedier operators and see the lower speed as a disadvantage due to its, slower speed and loud noise. His ability was also harder to use and had a fixed cooldown time, so no matter how long you keep the glasses on for, it will always recharge in the exact same time, which was a disadvantage. He also had a very average loadout when he was released. All these factors made Warden a very situational operator. He wasn't a fragging operator, he was loud and slow, and worst of all, his gadget wasn't very useful. He's been out for almost a year and a half now, or even longer than that. Let's see if the changes Ubisoft made has actually made Warden more useful. The 4 main changes are, let's start with the first one. He was changed from a 3 armor 1 speed operator to a 2 armor 2 speed operator. That increased his pick rate quite a bit, as he was practically the same as Valkyrie. So he was exactly the same speed, had the exact same weapon. He was also given a nitrous cell instead of the barbed wire, giving him a much better capability at fragging or denying plants. So he's even more on par with Valkyrie that way. So literally same gun, same speed, same secondary gadget. His ability had a normal cooldown now, more similar to like Cav, Vigil, or even Knock. Activating his glasses no longer means you deplete your entire charge. You can kind of turn it off, turn it on, turn it off, turn it on. You didn't have to wait for it to be fully charged before you could use it again. He was also given the 1.5 times scope on the MPX to help fight attackers at range. Now have a look at Warden's loadout and see how it has changed, or whether it's graded from an A, B, C or D. He does have the shotgun as a primary or the Valkyrie MPX. The interesting thing is both of them are very viable options because you do have the option to go for the SMG-12 as well. So if you pick the shotgun, obviously the SMG-12 will be a good balance with it. But alternatively, the MPX is also a very good choice if you're planning to be more aggressive. If you're going to be more of an anchor, the shotgun is a better choice. Like I mentioned earlier, the MPX does have the 1.5 times scope, but it's different from Valkyrie. She doesn't have that option. He also has the newer holographic sight, which looks a little funky honestly, but still I recommend the 1.5 times scope on him. That turns the gun into an absolute laser beam. The MPX also has the vertical grip or the angle grip. I personally recommend the angle grip just because when you're aiming, every time you activate your glasses, it forces you to unscope your weapon. And having that quick ADS will help you quickly snap back onto target after your ability has been activated. So I think it's a really good choice. For secondary, he does have the P10C, which is Clash's pistol, which was introduced in Grim Sky all those years ago. It's not a bad pistol. It has really poor hip fire spread, however, but between the two, it's just no contest. Why would you not pick the SMG-12? It does kick like a mule, but it's a very solid backup for the shotgun mains out there, and also that it also has an ankle grip if you do choose to use it. Overall, I'll give Warden a rating of B for his loadout. It's not exactly terrible, but it isn't exactly groundbreaking either. I would say borderline B or C, but because he does have the SMG-12 as a backup weapon, and has a nitro cell. I'll give it a solid B. Alright, now let's have a look briefly at Warden's primary and secondary gadgets. It's a very straightforward gadget. When you activate it, you can see through smoke, stuns, and flashes. So anything from Ying, Blitz, or Sophia, you can pretty much see through. He is not, however, immune to frag grenades. I found it out the hard way. You will still die when the frag grenade lands in your proximity. You cannot cancel frag grenades. You can have the glasses on to see through smoke and flashes, but you have to remain perfectly still to see through smoke. But the best part about the ability is called stun cancelling, meaning you turn it on after you get flashed or stunned to cancel the effects of that. Don't even know how that works in real life. I don't think that's physically possible, but apparently you can do that in this game. For secondary gadgets, he has the deployable shield and the nitro cell, like we mentioned before. They're both very good secondary gadgets, but you just can't say no to the nitro cell. I guess you can take the shield on certain sites when it's required by your team, so it really depends on your team's playstyle, but I would say 70 to 80% of the time the nitro cell is just going to be the best option. So what kind of role can Warden play? Warden was built to be an anchoring operator back in Operation Phantom Sight, but I feel that his biggest strength is his versatility. The jack of all trades character with master of none. Is he the best anchor in game? No, I would honestly take Echo or Smoke over Warden. He's a good anchor that counters stuns and smokes, but he can't replace both of them unless you're going for a very specific playstyle. He does have the nitro cell that can counter a lot of plants, and his guns are very good, but overall I wouldn't say he's the best anchor in the game. Is he the best roamer in the game then? No, of course not either. I would take Alibi, Vigil, or many other roaming options over Warden, but he can still play this role pretty okay with a good mix of speed plus long range optics. You need a specific play style to play that way though. The way I see it, Warden suits a more lurking role, a role that jumps between an anchor and a roamer. Whatever you choose to call this role, Warden is probably best played in this role. You can help hold angles on site, but you can also get him to flank when you need him to. What I commonly like to do is jump from one bomb site to another when playing Warden. The goal is to stay alive for as long as you can, because his ability does not benefit the team after he's dead. So to make Warden a more popular operator, what can Ubisoft really do? There are three ways I can really think of. The first way is to improve his gadget by reducing his gadget's penalty when moving. Like class, I say reduce, not remove, because removing the penalty may make him more overpowered. The second way is to improve his primary weapon. A bad gadget doesn't mean a bad operator if the operator is balanced with a good loadout. Look at Ash for example, and improving his primary gun can greatly improve his pick rate. So either swap the MPX for another weapon or make the MPX better overall, but I think making the MPX more effective will buff Valkyrie as well, so most likely swap his primary weapon. It's the most effective way. The third way is probably reworking the operator. I don't have a good idea how you can rework Warden completely, so let me know in the comments section below if you have any suggestions. Overall, Warden is a good operator. He's not unplayable, just too situational. I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I really struggled to get footage of his gadget actually helping me during my 2 weeks of playing him. I hope he gets more recognition in the future if Ubisoft makes some changes to him. He has a lot of potential, but it feels like Ubisoft was a little bit lazy when designing him, and he deserves more attention. Thanks for watching everyone, and thanks for tuning in to the first episode of Forgotten Operators. I will be making better videos, similar videos to these in the future, so leave a comment down below what you'd like to see in the future. Reese and I are trying our very best to make the best possible content for you guys. Thanks for watching, don't forget to like, subscribe and share.